Okay, hi again. I'm gonna do a video more on anxiety and kind of how that affects your life and how it could affect other people's. And I'm in my dressing gown again, and I'm wearing my girlfriend's top. Just had to say, and the camera's all shaky. And yeah, I'm getting a blood test today, just to kind of make sure that my anxiety isn't caused by some physical aspects like anemia or something, because I get really weak and I can't really stand up or sit down for a while without moving. And that's been present for quite a while, so yeah. Oh, my nose is really itchy. I apologise. And yeah, Hannah Montana's in the background just because why not? And yeah, so basically in my last video I talked about anxiety as a whole, and really in this one I'm going to talk about how it affects you and what it can do to you, because I don't think a lot of people know, and I think it would be quite helpful for me to actually admit it to myself and therefore admit it to others. So I guess here goes. And you can hear my dogs in the background. So calm down. Shut up! Stop! Anyway, basically, as I said in my last video, anxiety is a mental health disorder in which you get very nervous and, well, anxious about things, really. Eyelash. Okay. Okay, ow. Okay, I'm alive. And basically, what happens is, when put in a situation, then the anxiety builds up, and you can get very anxious and agitated and irritated in the situation. And I think for the people around you that might come as a bit of a shock, because they generally don't really know how to deal with that. And when it sort of propels even further and you get what is known as an anxiety attack or a panic attack, then I think people can sometimes be a bit stuck on what to do and how to help and what exactly you're going through. So for me, whenever I get one, it's generally because I get really overwhelmed with all these thoughts of anxiety and depression and just general, really, and it's difficult to actually sit down and explain to someone that you are literally out of control, that you are not in control at all. You're just out of it, and there's nothing that you can do because it's just there all the time. And generally my anxious thoughts are around people and situations. I get very anxious when it's really loud and I'm in a room where there's tons of people, when I have to speak up in class, which I don't do. Like, a lot of my reports from teachers and like parents' evening and stuff were, oh, she doesn't talk, she needs to speak up in lessons. And it really upset me because I couldn't explain to anyone that I just couldn't speak in lessons, that I couldn't raise my hand for fear that I'd say something wrong, or that I'd mess up, that I'd speak out of turn. I didn't want to speak in front of people, and it's still quite hard to actually raise my hand in class and ask for help, because that scares me. It scares me being put in a position where I don't know what to do, and the only thing that I can do is actually ask someone, which also scares me because I don't want to talk to people when I don't feel comfortable. And I think that's what's really hard about actually being able to speak openly about it, because you feel generally ashamed of the fact that you're like this and people around you aren't. And I always feel really, really guilty whenever I go through anything in that kind of situation, because I feel like I put it onto people, and that by me worrying and getting really, really overly anxious, then they therefore have to deal with that too. And that isn't what someone should go through. That's not what your friends should have to deal with, in my eyes. I don't think they should have to deal with my anxious behaviour, because that's not what they signed up for. They didn't sign up for trying to counsel someone and trying to be a therapist. They signed up to be a friend. And yeah, okay, friends can be there for each other, but they shouldn't have to be there when you're going through them practically every single day. Like, in the past 2 weeks, I've had quite a few episodes where it's been really, really bad, and people didn't know what to do. They just tell you to calm down, and in certain cases, when you're told to calm down, then you can take that in a different way and get really annoyed by it. I know I do sometimes. When people tell me to calm down, I get really annoyed and start shouting, oh, well, I can't calm down, I can't, you don't know anything, which is kind of true, but I don't mean it in the way, oh, you don't know anything. I mean it in, literally, you don't know that I'm out of control, that I really do want control, and it's hard that I don't have it. And when your anxious thoughts build up, you generally have got like this inner voice in the back of your head saying, oh, well, they're all gonna judge you, they're all gonna hate you, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, no, you can't do that, oh, you can't do it, you must be stupid. You've got all these thoughts kind of screaming at you, telling you that they're all gonna hate you, that you're worthless, that you can't do things, that you're so stupid for actually being like this. And to compete with that and actually trying to do these things causes all this anxiety to just build and build and build, and it just crashes through you, and you don't know how to react to it. You don't know what to do, because anything you do, your anxious thoughts are telling you that you're doing it wrong. And I think that's what people don't understand, that they just think, oh, well, you're being nervous, but they don't know what contributes to the fact that it's nervous. It's you. It's your inner thoughts building, telling you that you're not doing something right, when others are like, oh, well, they are. But to you and your thoughts, you're not doing anything right. And I think that's what strikes me most about anxiety, is that no matter how much you try, anxiety's still gonna tell you that you're doing it wrong. Even if you've done something incredible, then the anxiety still tells you that you've not done it good enough, that you're not good enough. And I've been asked so many times, well, why don't you think you're good enough? Like, who's said this to you? And I'm like, how do I explain to these people that it's me? That my inner thoughts are telling me that I'm not good enough. It's not anyone else. It's me. It's my personal experiences that have made me so scared to try, so scared to do anything, in fear of not being good enough, fear of being left behind, of people hating me, of people turning on me. It's all because of what's happened with me. It's all because of what has happened in my life and what my inner thoughts are telling me, not what anyone else is telling me. I just assume that these people think the way that I do, so it's really hard for me to accept compliments, and I hate them. I'll give them to other people, which I guess is slightly hypocritical, but that doesn't matter. But accepting them and hearing people say them about me isn't something that I'm comfortable with, and it's going to take a long time to actually try and feel better about myself, because both the anxiety and the depression are both telling me that I shouldn't try, that I'm not good enough, that I should fear all these things. And I actually realised that in fearing all this, I'm not actually living. And part of me wants to live, and I want to get better, and I want to feel okay and not have to fear practically everything. But then all these things that I've been through, all these different emotions that I have to deal with, all these different thoughts that I have swimming around my head, they're then telling me that without this, I'm nothing. And it's got to a point where I literally tell myself daily that without the anxiety, without the depression, that I am nothing. That I'm so scared of losing it that if it goes away, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how that's gonna affect my life, whether it's gonna be good or whether it's gonna scare me more that they're not there, that they're not there to fall back on and to actually be like, well, that's how I act and people know that. That what if people don't want to know me if I've not got that? What if people don't like me now that they know that I've battled through it? And that's something that I have to deal with, and I really don't know how, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know where I'm gonna go or what I'm gonna do or how that's gonna affect me. I really don't know. And I guess to me I look like a complete twat on this video saying all this stuff when people generally probably don't care and they don't want to listen to like a 14-minute video about me going on about anxiety. But I really do hope that people do like it and kind of subscribe. And that's my dog again. I guess they're telling me that it's time to finish, so I'm gonna take their lead and go. Bye. Sorry for their barking.